Hey everyone, this is Chris of Spelarkivet. Today's video will be about facilities in Planetside 2 and how you capture them and hopefully hold them for your faction. There are three types of facilities. There are biolabs, tech plants and amp stations. And they are similar in the manner that they all have control points, they all have generators, and I think all of them also have SCUs, which stands for spawn control units. So the generators, they keep up the force fields that usually protect the vehicle base and the SCUs, and the SCU generator protects the spawn area, which is where I'm at right now. I'm at the Suarva biolab, as you can see on the left. There are 4 control points at this biolab. You can see that on the minimap. It's hard to see, but that's the A, B, C, and D. And while we are in control of all 4, the facility is ours. If another faction comes in and takes over, I think it's more than half of these, the ownership will go down for my faction, and eventually when it reaches 0, the ownership will then go up for that particular faction instead. So we'll walk out of the spawn area here and take a look at first the different control points, and they are very similar in whichever facility or building you're trying to control. It's these sort of control terminals where you just have to stand next to them, and you can see this red bar up here, and you will see if there is a conflict going on. You will see the 3 different factions and who is in control and how much they are in control at the moment. So there is a bar that will go down or up respectively depending on who how far the conflict has gone, or the control has the influence has gone. So at this point we have 4 different ones, and this thing over here is the generator, which controls the force fields. They are marked by this kind of icon. So as an enemy, now I'll say that I'm at a facility right now which is far out of reach, far into my faction's territory, in order to avoid conflict, so I can make this video. But anyway, what you do generally is that you walk up to an enemy's generator like this, and then just press the sort of action button you have mapped. For me it's the letter E. Hold that one until the generator starts to overload. In the same manner, if you are protecting and the generator is about to go, you can just walk up to it, hold E, and hopefully you will be in time for it to repair itself, or to avoid the sort of explosion or meltdown that will occur. If it has already exploded, then you can, as an engineer, have your utility gun and just point and click at it until it's repaired, just the same way you repair different vehicles. So if this control generator goes down, the shield over here will go down, so the enemies will have access to the spawn control generator, or this spawn control unit. And when this is blown, these shields go down and they take control, full control over the facility. Right, so this means that they have to take control. I think you have to take control of, well, not necessarily all of them, but they have to take down the generators and take down the spawn control unit in an effort just long enough for their ownership bar to go up onto full. When it reaches full, they own this facility, and everyone inside of this spawn area here will have to evacuate immediately, or else they will die. So the biolab, this is the upper level. So I have one control unit over here. That's the A. You have one over here. This is the B control unit. The C is right over here. And the D is outside. So we'll have to go down through this teleporter. And we're in the vehicle bay. When the generator goes down and the shield around the spawn control unit goes down, these also go down. So you have to really focus hard to protect this area, because it's vital to have access to both the upper and lower levels. So the last control unit is outside of the main facility, if you will, the main dome, and it's right over here. Works in the same manner as the other ones. So as you can imagine, this is the easiest for the enemy to gain access to. Also, depending on how the facility looks, they all look a bit different. This one also has an outer perimeter, and here is a generator, and this has a range mark over it, and the shield icon represents a tank. So what this does is, because it's broken right now, it's destroyed. Then the outer perimeter shield right here, it's down. Okay, so you have to, in heat of the battle, you have to go over here as an engineer, just repair it, and you will see that the barrier will go up, or the shield. I'm going to take you through both of the other facilities, the tech plant and the amp station, to show you the sort of differences. Okay, let's see if that worked, hopefully. Okay, so the shield is up. That's great. So in order to protect this area, it's important to, of course, keep control of all of the different control points, because that will allow the enemy to slowly gain ownership of the facility, right? But it's equally, or perhaps even more important, to keep the generators online for the perimeters, or the generators that control the inner facility, the inner parts of the dome, and in this case the spawn control unit. Because if, for example, this one, the outer perimeter, this one prevents tanks from going into the perimeter. But if it's broken, if you know, the tanks will be allowed, or any other vehicles for that matter, will be allowed to enter the inner or the outer perimeter, and have sort of more close combat action towards the dome. And if they don't manage to control the upper shield generator, which is this one over here, no, it's that one over here, sorry, then these go down too. And if they have tanks and whatever, this place is going to explode, sort of in a real hard conflict. So okay, that's about it for the biolab. Important defense points. Of course, to keep the generator up, you have to sort of keep people in this area. The enemy knows this, and they will attack from all sides. What usually happens is that if the enemy is good enough or strong enough, they will push everyone back to the spawn room over here, and it will be really hard to get out of this spawn area. So points of sort of insertion for the enemy is usually around the different vehicle landing base. There are two. One is over here. There's another spawn area. This is where they usually enter from, or on the adjacent side or the opposite side. Let's see. My frame rate is really bad, so you have to. Okay, this area is a bit different. Usually, biodomes have two sort of elevator pylons, energy pylons, or whatever you want to call it, on the outside here, that goes down, so they can easily take the elevators up and attack from out here, or they can land with airborne vehicles. And that's about it for the biodome. This one looks a bit different than I'm used to, but just so that you get the basics of the layout and what you need to protect. I'll hop over to the tech plant next, and we'll see what that one looks like. Just one other quick thing to add. At the vehicle pad, even if the shields go down, they can't use the teleporter, because this is based on ownership of the facility. So right now it's red. If the Vanu takes ownership of the facility, this one will turn purple, and so on, and we won't be able to use it. But the vehicle pad is a very important place to also keep in battle, and usually a good thing is to have an engineer put up a Sunderer vehicle right here, or somewhere in here, with a SAMS or SAMS, so you can spawn your own troops if they die. So they can choose to spawn up in top side in the spawn rooms, or down here in the at the Sunderer vehicle. So that's a good thing also. Not sure if this facility has any spawn areas outside. Doesn't look like it. You can usually look for the equipment terminal logos, which are the weapon logos, like this one. They usually are inside the spawn rooms. So this one doesn't look to have any of those. So anyway, on to the tech plant. Okay, I decided to go for an amp station instead, because it was the closest one. The objectives are basically the same. The facility as such looks a bit different. It's only one level, if you will. There are of course sort of second level, but not like the biodome, where you have the dome way much higher up than the vehicle pad, for example. So anyway, so this one has a an outer perimeter with two vehicle entrances. Is it that one over here, and the other one is right over there. So at the map, This is the left one, this is the right one. If you look at this orientation, there are also where openings down here where the troops can go in, and also the light assaults, of course, can fly over the walls. So the right and left, or left or right shield barriers are protected by the generators. It's one over here and the other one is over there, and they protect their respective shield. Also, the inner structures shields for the vehicle bay are protected by one each. One is over here, this one, and the other one is way over on the other side. So you can see it on the minimap. This is the center structure. This one has a shield. It's controlled by this generator. This one has a shield. It's controlled by this generator. The main facilities barriers, shield barriers, are controlled by both that one and that one. So I believe that you have to take both down in order for any of them to fail, to be destroyed. As you can see by the shield logos here, or the shield icons, both of them have to be taken down. In this case, it's enough to take down just the one. So if we go inside, we have the spawn control unit in here. It's protected by this shield, and also by one on the other side, a small entrance. So in order for the enemy to take control, they have to, let's see here, go up one level. Right here. This is the generator that controls the barrier down to the spawn control unit, and also this is the control point, which will take ownership of the whole facility. So this one is obviously very important to defend, and the outer generators, or I'll show you on the minimap. All of these generators are also essential. The spawn points, in a similar manner as for the biolab, it's always a good idea to have a sunder close by, maybe inside the vehicle bay right here, or let's see here, somewhere outside is usually a good idea. But of course, if you're on the outside, you risk getting attacked. Well, it's a myriad of different buildings and structures here, so it's kind of easy to put a sunder somewhere, but usually not a good idea. So common points of access for the enemy, they most likely will go for the different generators just to gain access to the inner structure. While inside, they will of course try to go for the SCU generator, shield generator, and absolutely the control board, which takes ownership of this facility. The spawn points are over here, and one on each side. So if you put a sunderer inside here, you will have direct access into the vehicle bay, which is always a good thing. But once the barriers go down, it will be a hard fight, because it's an enclosed sort of area. You have nowhere to go, really. One other access point is from the top, also when the shield goes down. So either by flying vehicles or an assault, a light assault could get in. And these are the energy elevator sort of pylons, beams that I talked about earlier in the biolabs. So that's it for the amp station, I guess. Nothing I forgot, no. Okay, so we will move on to the tech plant, which is the last sort of facility. I'm not 100% sure if all of the facilities look the same, but they usually have a common layout, pretty similar layout. So they should look sort of alike. And also the objectives are always the same, to protect the generators, protect the inner spawn control generator and the spawn control unit itself, and of course the different control points. So tech plant next. Alright, so now I'm at one of the tech plants, and this one looks a bit different than I'm used to. The spawn control generator is on the outside in an outer structure. As I recall it, they usually are inside within the main building and the main structure. So anyway, the objectives are just the same. This particular tech plant doesn't have any outer perimeter, so there are only one control point, one generator which controls the spawn control unit, or more. Oh, there's a there's a generator for the for some kind of vehicle shield. Oh, okay. I see. It protects the sort of gate here on the outside. So they have an outer perimeter, and since there are a very rocky terrain surrounding the area, I guess it's hard to get inside. So we have to protect the generator to prevent the enemy to gain access with vehicles. There are other ways in, I've noticed. This is sort of the front or back or whatever you want to call it. Has one large shield. Also, the vehicle pad or the vehicle bay have one on each side. So there should be a shield generator somewhere. I guess it has to be this one. Shield generators are usually, you can tell by the shield icon, right? And this one has a triangle, and I think that's the spawn control generator. Oh, okay, it's upstairs, right. So, upstairs, we need some stairs. So here's the control point, which controls the ownership. Up here is the shield generator for all the inner perimeters shields. Right. Now I remember. Crucial points are, let's see here. in the vehicle bay, you can see that the shields don't go all the way up. So for light assault, it's easy to just hover over this shield and attack, land on this sort of walkway up here, and or drop down into the vehicle bay. Also, on the front side or back side, whichever it is, there are two entrances, one here and one right there, and they don't have any shields at all. Also, I would assume that you can enter without having to pass through a shield from the top right. So they are a bit different, as you can see. So if you have an aircraft, or if you are a light assault, you can enter through here also if you want. So crucial points to protect, if you don't count in the different generators, which I've mentioned before, since the objective you approach is the same. Crucial points are protecting the front, these two doors, entrances, and also the energy elevators over here. And it's usually a good place to be up on the sort of balcony up here and try to shoot them from up there, and also to place yourself somewhere around this area. One problem is, of course, the sort of opening the gap which is above the vehicle bay shields. They also need to be protected. So the backside isn't really a problem because it has a shield that goes all the way up, and this is a terrific place for the Sunderer spawn vehicle, either in this area right here or perhaps drive it a bit further in. It doesn't matter, maybe over here. And other spawn areas. Let's see here. It's really hard to tell. Separate the icons from the environment around you. Yeah, I think actually the spawn points are a bit outside. I'm gonna grab a vehicle so we can take a look at this spawn control unit. Okay. First of all, on the minimap you can see spawn points. One over here, one over here, and one way over here. And one up there also. And the spawn control unit is pretty far outside the generator. It's pretty far outside the main facility building, or the main building. So when they take down the this shield generator, both the vehicle base and this one will go. Now I'm told, and also by experience I know, that the layouts are a bit different for all of the amp stations and tech plants. You know what, I don't think actually these shields go down when you take down the shield generator. It might be that they go down when you take ownership, but that would be strange, because shield generators are usually one of the first protective layers of defense, if you will. So anyway, that's about it. As you've noticed, the different facilities, which are the biolabs, the amp stations and the tech plants, they are very similar, but they look different, have a bit different layout, but the objectives are always the same. you have to protect the control point. In order to control ownership, you have to protect the different shield generators, which control the shield's outer or inner perimeter, vehicle, or in this case troop shields. And you also have to protect the spawn control unit generator, or the SCU. Because if the SCU goes down, I think the barriers to the spawn areas also go down, so you are very vulnerable. Hard word, vulnerable, in that situation. And that's about it regarding Planetside 2, the objectives, a bit about how to protect them, and a bit about good approaches, perhaps. I've only been playing this now for about 2 weeks, but this is my experience of the different facilities, and what's a good approach as an enemy, and what's a good approach while defending. Stack of smoke, but it just disappeared. So anyway, Planetside 2 facilities. My name is Chris, this is Spelarkivet. Thank you for watching.